Well, hello, folks out there in YouTube land. Got a big show lined up for you. Let's get right on into it. All right, let's pull up the screen. All right, Ilus International. It's below support. Actually, it's probably sitting right on it, but it did drop all the way down to it. And the big question is now what? And let's talk about what's going on in the world. First of all, let's just talk about the fact the economy is slowing down big time. We've got terrible inflation, terrible. And if you'll remember and it's been several days since I've done a video. I was doing my federal income taxes, my state taxes, all this stuff. And so I decided to take a little break after all that. And man, I'm telling you, the market's been bad. It's just been bad. But there are a lot of good opportunities out there. I don't mind it when it gets bad. That's normally when I do most of my buying. So it's, you know, I'd rather it be going up, but, you know, there's good and bad with that. As far as inflation, like I said, I told you months and months ago when they said it was 4%, it was transitory, that it was ridiculous. It was way higher than that, and that was absurd. And, of course, it wound up at what? It's at 8.5%. I told you I thought it was about 12. I think it's still 12 or higher, but, you know, you do have the CPI or the CPI or whatever the hell they call it, Consumer Price Index. I don't agree with that. I've been to the grocery store. I bought gas. And they try to take that stuff out because it's not the core, because nobody eats and nobody needs transportation, right? So whatever. So anyway, the inflation sucks. And I wasn't going to come out here and act like nothing's wrong.
Please disperse. Nothing to see here, please.
That's right. There's lots to see here. Okay. Thirdly, I think we're in a bit of a housing bubble as well. The interest rates are going to be going up. They've gone from 3 to 5% on a 30-year mortgage, and they're heading to probably 6 or 7 or 8. And a lot of people have seen their house go up in value quite a bit. Rent's gone. God, rent's crazy. Everything's out of proportion. So I think we're in a bit of a housing bubble, which probably will slow down over the next 6 to 9 to 12 months because interest rates are going to continue to go up. It's the only way to fight inflation at this point, and the supply chains are not getting any better. Let me assure you, it's only going to get worse with the whole China situation. And what I'm talking about there is they're locking down. That's how they're dealing with the Rona. And have they not learned anything from other countries that with the version they're dealing with right now, you can't stop it. It's just going to do what it's going to do. And that, of course, is going to lead to more supply chain problems. And because we get everything from there. I mean, whether you like it or not, that's where 75% of everything we use comes from, China and Indonesia. So what I think they're doing is stupid. As a matter of fact, it's more than stupid.
Thank you for playing. Should we or should we not follow the advice of the galactically stupid?
Okay, yeah, that's what I think anyway. But I'm not supposed to talk about the Rona on YouTube. I understand that, but anyway, that's just I don't get what they're doing. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But at least things are good here when it comes to the Rona. It seems like it's pretty low, and looks like the world's here is starting to get back to normal. I don't know why China's trying to do something different than everybody else. As far as the FANG stocks, many of them have been hammered, and I'm watching closely to see, and I'll get to Ilus in a minute, don't worry, but there's a lot of stuff to talk about. And with the FANG stocks, like I said, we've already seen Facebook down over 50%. Netflix is crashing hard. It's really struggling because of the streaming, and there's lots of issues going on with Netflix. And that leaves us Google and Amazon and then Microsoft. Well, the reality is Alphabet's starting to pull down. I think they're down 10 or 15%. I'm watching that one closely. If it pulls down stupid like Facebook did, I'm all over Alphabet. You can just count on that. And as far as Amazon, I'm watching it pretty closely. I'm not a huge fan, even though it's a great company. They've done extremely well. Unless it gets down to stupid cheap, I won't be buying it. But that's just me. But I've been busy buying a bunch of stocks. I've been buying Facebook and PayPal and Dropbox and what else? What else have I bought? Oh, I bought some Penn National today. It got down. I think its PE ratio was like a 15, and it's a profitable company, and I wanted to get some exposure in the gambling industry, and I thought Penn National might look pretty good. I've been eyeing that one for months and months, and I've discussed it a few times on this channel, but I decided to go in and grab some Penn National. I think it was at $36 or something. And like I say, the PE ratio was down there, or it's a value stock now. You know, when something's a 15 or less, it's and it's profitable, I'm going to be interested, especially if it's got growth. And the gambling sector is a high growth. So I think long-term I'll be okay there. Also, I bought Palantir. I've been buying Palantir at 12 and below. I like its growth story. I like the sector it's in because it's first mover, big time. And the fact that their real problem is they need to continue to grow, obviously, but secondly, they've got stock-based compensation problems. Those are very solvable if the CEO decides to solve it, and he has spoken to that, so that's what interests me about Palantir. And I've been buying some Ilus because of where it's at right now. Now we can get into Ilus because I've run my mouth so much. All right, as we look at this chart, as you can see, this is the support that I've been talking about, this 11.5. I started buying a little bit yesterday at just under 12. I think I got it at 11.8, and I'm pretty comfortable. I think I'll probably buy some more today. You know, anything at this level and below, I'm pretty comfortable with. The next support level is 10 cents. It's right here. Let's draw that in just in case. That goes over here, and let's see here. That's at 10. Hard to get exactly right on that, but anyway, that's the next support level is right there, and that's still not quite right. There. Okay. So anyway, from here to here is a pretty good buy zone in my opinion, but that's just my opinion. Like I said, this is a penny stock, and with all penny stocks, I put it in the 10% category. I buy 10% of my portfolio as penny stocks, OTC, and then 10%'s cryptocurrency and crypto related, and then the rest of it's in value stocks and high growth stocks and things along those lines. But I do like to have a little bit of risk in my portfolio, and Ilus I'm pretty comfortable with. One thing I'm getting a little bit irritated with Ilus, this is basically they're still about 1.2 billion shares, and that's what, not Nick Link, it was a JP Backwell said in his last video. It was actually on YouTube, and I covered it. He said they were around 1.2, 1.22 still as far as outstanding shares, but this has not been updated since November, and that's really starting to irritate me. That needs to be updated, and I don't understand why that hadn't been. You know, it's more than time for that to get updated so we can be a little more comfortable with how many shares we got and we can know the market cap and all that. And one of the things that I do like a lot about this company is their revenue growth. You know, they've gone from 508,000 in the first quarter, and then they've just really been, and this is going to continue to go up based on their acquisitions and the fact that they're growing the companies that they own. Each and every one of those, they're planning on growing at a really quick clip, and using the synergies of owning so many businesses that interrelate. I really like that about Ilus, and I think this number is going to continue to go up at quite a clip. The other thing that I like about Ilus, based on their quarterly reports, you know, they're profitable. This is a penny stock that's profitable. Again, that's pretty rare these days, or any days when it comes to penny stocks. But, you know, they've had a profit in each of their last 4 quarters, and the profit has been growing. And they've got a good margin, normally around 15%, which in the fire safety sector doesn't surprise me. That's a very profitable sector. There's not a lot of people in it, and it's something you have to have. You have to have fire and safety if you're going to have a public building. Otherwise, they're going to shut you down. Now, their last update, they talked about the Metaverse, and the company that they bought is Curve RX or Curve RT or whatever the heck the name of it is. But they're getting into the Metaverse, and they're having a lot of training tutorials that they can sell in that sector. And of course it's fire and safety and also first aid. So they're just getting in all the right areas for me personally. We know about the European deal, and we're waiting on the second part of that. The first part we understand has been done. The share reduction, they're still trying to get down to 1 billion shares by doing some sort of a move into preferred stock category for some common shares with an offering of some sort of compensation. So I'd like to see that number come down, and that would help us with our stock price, and they know that. They're working on all kinds of acquisitions, including a 9-figure acquisition that they're working on in the U.S., so that's pretty exciting. They're trying to uplist to the NASDAQ through a spinoff, and JP Backwell and Nick Link have talked about that quite a bit with no reverse split. Very important, no reverse split. So we're still waiting on the details for all of that. They've talked a little bit about the preferred and restricted shares, but Nick Link back on April 5th put out in a letter saying that he had no intention of selling any of them and that he controlled them. And I've shown that many, many times, so I feel good about that. The water mist technologies and everything they do, and it's patented, and it's a really cool product, and I think it's going to be nothing but a winner for them for a very long time because it uses a lot less water to put out the same fire that it takes a ton of water to put out, and that's helpful in many ways. Number one, a lot of the damage with a fire is done by the actual water itself. So that eliminates one big problem. The second is you don't have to have as much water to put the fire out, so you can go out with a smaller unit to put it out. So there's just so many positives about the water mist technology. They have had some discussions with Tesla pertaining to the mist technology. Again, not a surprise. Vera drones, we know that those look really good and could have a great future. So for me, I'm picking up some Ilus stock. I'd been waiting very patiently for weeks on this. I was not going to buy unless it got down below 12. That was sort of my number, and I've been real stubborn about it. And now I'm pretty comfortable adding some shares. But, you know, you do what's comfortable for you. Again, this is a penny stock, so you need to take that risk into account. But I'm pretty comfortable at this point right now, and I'm buying a lot of stocks. This is a time for me to buy. I know it seems super risky, and hey, look, you know, if you're not comfortable, don't be buying anything. That's up to you. But this is a time when I like to buy, when everybody else is really fearful. And there's a lot of fear in this market. Good grief. And if you like this content, be sure to hit that like button. Lets me know to continue to cover Ilus. And if you haven't hit that subscribe button, go ahead and smack that thing. Give the channel a chance. I'd certainly appreciate it. And hope you did like the content. And we'll see you next time on Mr. Frugal Investor.